The result is that the High Court's decision that Rwanda was a safe third country is reversed, and that unless and until the deficiencies in its asylum processes are corrected, removal of asylum seekers to Rwanda will be unlawful. Finally, I should make clear that our decision implies no view whatever about the political merits or otherwise of the Rwanda policy. Those are entirely a matter for the government, on which the court has nothing to say. Our concern is only whether the policy complies with the law as laid down by Parliament.
OK, well, that's Lord Burnett of Malden. He is the Lord Chief Justice of England and Wales, delivering his verdict that it appears the Rwanda policy, big blow for the government, is unlawful. We're going to go straight to Mark White, our Home and Security Editor, who is at the Royal Courts of Justice. Mark.
Well, this is no doubt a very significant blow for the government. It, in effect, reverses that decision made by the High Court in December of last year, saying that the government's policy to send asylum seekers off to Rwanda for processing was lawful. The judges handing down their ruling now saying that they believe the deficiencies within the Rwandan asylum system mean that that is not a safe third country to send asylum seekers to. And it says, and you heard Lord Burnett, the Lord Chief Justice, right at the end, saying unless and until the Rwandan government addresses those deficiencies within its asylum system, then any move by the UK government to send asylum seekers to that East African country would be unlawful. So a very big blow for Rishi Sunak and his policy of stopping the boats. Suella Braverman, of course, as well, has been in Rwanda to see just what the Rwandan government was doing to accommodate those asylum seekers that the government still hopes, to send there at some point. Now let's just see what the government does. I think it's almost certain that the government will try to appeal this decision by the Court of Appeal. It may then be an appeal to the Supreme Court. Perhaps in league with the Rwandan government, they look as a matter of urgency to address these deficiencies that have been highlighted by the Court of Appeal here before moving to any kind of appeal at the Supreme Court. It's all up in the air. As I say, this is a very significant defeat for the government, who were on course following that High Court ruling to have this policy agreed as lawful, and at some point, although they wanted to expend all of the legal proceedings, and that would have entailed, no matter how this went today, probably an appeal to the Supreme Court, and perhaps unlikely that the first flights would take off until much later this year, if not early next year anyway. But now it's all up in the air, and I don't mean the flights to Rwanda. The government is going to have a rethink, decide what it's doing, and we expect to hear from the government in the minutes ahead. As soon as we do, we'll bring that to you.
Mark, do we know what the deficiencies that the appeal court judges have identified in Rwanda's asylum system? What are these deficiencies?
Yeah, we're reading through this long and complex judgment now to try to determine exactly what these deficiencies are. This was just a summary judgment that was read out, so really just highlighting the fact that they believe that the asylum system and the processes in place in asylum, in the Rwandan asylum system, are not robust enough to ensure that anyone sent to Rwanda would be properly safeguarded, and therefore anyone going to that country would clearly be that would be in breach, the Lord Chief Justice said, of their human rights under the UN Convention on Human Rights. So a bitter blow for the government. Clearly those asylum seekers and the charities that have been backing them will be celebrating today. They will feel that it absolutely, from their point of view, cements the idea that they had put forward, that the government of Rwanda did not provide a safe environment for asylum seekers to be sent to that East African country, precisely because of the deficiencies. As I say, we're looking at what is a complex judgment. We'll try to bring you a bit more detail on what those deficiencies might be. But suffice to say, Rwanda, according to the Court of Appeal, is not a safe country to send asylum seekers from the UK to.